Hello there, vinyl community. Hello there, YouTube. And hello there, Bobby Zee. You wanted us to talk about, that little forbidden, that little sinful, sex. You want us to talk about sexy songs, sexy record albums, everything that has to do with sex. Well, you asked for it. And I don't think Sweden has been this sinful since the late 60s. Well, I have picked out a couple of records for you because I'm your love host here. Dr. Love, you don't have a chance. Just kidding. But I picked out a couple of records here to show some things that may be a little bit controversial for the PG-rated YouTube. I don't know. The music business is filled with songs and covers that are sexy and is supposed to be controversial when it comes to sex. I'm not going to play all that much music. I'd hate to lose this YouTube channel. But I'm going to play one song that I'm pretty sure will be passing the YouTube police. And but later on, let's start with the songs and the covers that I have picked out. And I think the natural way to start is by a song that isn't all that much about sex, but the artist. How about some Andrea True Connection? You know, Robert, don't you, that Andrea True was a singer turned porn star. She started as an adult actress in adult movies and then later on turned to music and tried to stay to the music most of the time, even if she slipped back every now and then. And I think that it would be pretty hard to avoid a certain artist when it comes to sex. Madonna, for you to justify my love. And the natural choice, erotic, put your hands all over my body. Erotica, of course. Then we have a song that has was one of the most controversial songs at its time. I'm talking, of course, about the song made by a couple who may have done this themselves because they were a couple in real life. Hard to avoid, Je t'aime moi non plus by Barkin and Serge Gainsbourg, the moaning song. And I think, Bobby, that you have heard this one sometime. Today may be a little bit of a funny song, a song with a certain cult status, indeed, but it is definitely very, very interesting. The interesting thing here is that I am a collector of records that are a bit obscure, that makes you wonder, what the hell did they ever think of when they did this record? That makes me wonder, how the hell did they ever get this stupid idea to put this on vinyl? And many of them are also some little bit of sexy undertone, to say the least, where they have tried to do to sell with sex, but where the results have been more laughter than sexy, maybe. Je t'aime moi non plus is considered today in that genre. Maybe it was at that time also. But that doesn't stop here, because I have 4 different versions of Je t'aime mon ampli. Yeah, you heard it right. I have 4. I hope to get a 5th one day, because Pet Shop Boys has also done a version of it. I've heard it, but I don't have it on any physical format. But how about the comedy version from television? Je t'aime mon ampli with Rene and Yvette, Golden K and Vicky Michelle from the British comedy series Allo Allo. I don't know if you're familiar with this series. It's about Rene, cafe owner, who tries to secretly and against his will do missions for against the Nazis in the Second World War. And meanwhile, he also tries to have some affairs with his waitresses. And most of all, Yvette, the sexy brunette, played by Vicky Michelle. And these two made a spoof of Je t'aime mon ampli, filled with the different kinds of situation where they tried to find a place to make love without his wife caught catching them. And it's of course it's more funny than romantic, but and erotic, but it's a really funny single. But I think you have to know about the TV series to get all the points. Then there of course have been some Swedish versions, and the one that made me laugh the hardest was this version. Je t'aime, jag älskar dig så, which is on English, I love you so. And with Lena Skoog and Anders Näslund. Anders Näslund is a not too successful actor and opera singer. Lena Skoog was a semi-nude actress who made some soft porns and showed herself in different magazines, not too dressed. And here they made this. Take a look at this cover sleeve. It says the famous written Swedish shock version. And if you think that the original with the Barkin and Gainsbourg is a little bit shameful, then wait till you hear this, because Lena Skoog is moaning like it was some kind of an adult movie. It makes Jane Barkin sound like some kind of a children program. So it is, and when I heard this the first time, I laughed so I almost cried, because it was so stupid. And this is the song that I actually think I can play some parts from. Even if you don't know the lyrics, try to keep yourself from laughing, Bobby. Well, Bobby, this is Swedish erotica, 70s style or 60s style. Very interesting. And an interesting thing is that it's released on something called Love Records. Then also I have a version. Whoops. I have a version with the Swedish comedian Bernt Dahlbeck and his band Gå Runt Show, and they made a more comedy version where Bernt Dahlbeck plays a farmer trying to a little not too bright farmer trying to answer to this song. So it's also pretty funny. So, enough with Je t'aime mon oubli. I've been trying to teach you about Depeche Mode. You're going to get a couple of more lessons. Depeche Modes in the 80s wrote a lot about sex and lust. Some songs from some of their famous singles are very, very interesting. How about this one from 1986, Stripped? Let me see you stripped down to the bone. Or what about from 1987 and the album Music for the Masses, Strangelove, a song that is a little bit about more kinky sex. Very, very little extreme song. And can't talk about sex without mentioning Samantha Fox and Touch Me, I Want Your Body. Pretty natural, huh? And I guess we can't avoid Olivia Newton-John, the little singer that was labeled as prude, all of a sudden came out and did Physical. What about Color Me Bad? I wanna sex you up. And a one night stand that I think it is Anne or Nancy Wilson think is like heaven, because all I want to do is make love to you by heart, of course. Some CD singles also. How about this one? From 1993, E17, Deep, Deep Down. Very, very, very erotic song. German disc jockey Alex Christensen, more known as U96, had a couple of hits during the 90s. Huge fan of him. But I got a little bit surprised when I bought this album, Club Bizarre, from 1994, and heard the song Jack, which contains some really interesting moaning from a woman. I'm going to put, of course, as usual, some links to the songs in the description area. Janet Jackson, Anytime, Anyplace, from the same year. Also doing some moaning during the end of the song, and the very interesting lyrics. And if you don't have a partner, do like Tony Braxton, You're Making Me High. You know what that song is about, don't you, Robert? And a song that had been around for quite some time is Jack You Off, both by Prince, Controversy, and our own electronic and soul sister Robyn. Soft Cell, British synth pop duo, popular a couple of years in the early 80s. Mark Almond is a singer. And their album Non-Stop Erotic Cabaret. And you get two for the price of one. What about this title? Sex Dwarf. And this album I showed not too long ago when I did a live opening of it, Berlin, and their album Pleasure Victims, containing their hit single Sex Ama. And she mentions a lot of nasty stuff that she says she is, because she's obviously hot. Album covers, If you are a little bit sensitive, fast forward a bit, because now coming to some album covers that a little bit surprising. This one is, I admit it, I bought it merely for the cover, but not as you think it is, because I bought it because this cover is so stupid. So stupid. By British group Swingadilla, who made a version of In the Mood, the Glenn Miller song, in some kind of a disco soul touch. Silly, just silly. But interesting thing is that there is a single version that is normal, and all of a sudden they had to do a version where she takes off her clothes at the front cover, holding some kind of a World War II military outfit, because nothing is like a nude girl and Glenn Miller. Backside, and I have to read some of the things that I have written here in the back. It also here is a version of Chattanooga Choo Choo, another Glenn Miller classic, and to that song they have written, shovel all the coal in, gotta keep on rolling. Now what is that? How about this cover by Swedish funk soul 80s group Surf Turf from 1981, Lovely Little Love Affair. And once again I wonder what they're thinking when they made this album for the Hammond organ album Hammond Hits a Go-Go by German big band leader K. Webb, who is another name for Frank Valdor, more famous by that name. But what they thinking when they did this cover sleeve? Because it is so hilariously stupid. First of all, this leg is supposed to be some kind of a blue color. It looks more like she's having a very, very strange disease, and the foot has stopped. It's dead. It's a foot is already dead. Not to mention the bombs on you know what. What were they thinking? Finally, about this cover from 70s soul group Ohio Players. So, Robert, I hope that you were satisfied with that. No, not that kind of satisfied. Satisfied, well, you know what I mean. Very interesting genre. The interesting part is that many of these songs that is about sex, at least here in Sweden, are songs that are labeled as more laughable than erotic. There are a lot of erotic songs in Swedish also, but I guarantee you these are definitely labeled as comedian stuff, unwillingly comedian stuff. I think that many of these songs, as this Swedish version of Je t'aime non plus with Leena Skoog and Näslund, once was supposed to be serious, but it's made so stupid so it sounds hilariously funny, and that's what I like. So with that, Robert, I hope that you are satisfied. Congratulations on your 69 subscribers, and I hope that you will have a whole lot more, because you are definitely one of the funniest persons at YouTube, my friend, and it's really good, really great to get to know you. And I'm going to, of course, to come back pretty soon, because the 10th it is the deadline for my Q&A. If you have some questions, you might still ask them. for up to 4 questions for me and post them in my 200 subscribers video. So with that, I hope that you, Bobby, and everybody else have a really nice continuing of weekend, and so long, take care.